All right, Archangel time. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Dominopoulos. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you like my stuff. This video is part of the Apocalypse series that I'm creating. Easy Archangel unlock is what we're going for here. We're just going for a quick 3-star unlock, 500,000 points. Let's just get ourselves an Archangel. So the point of these videos ultimately is to min-max, use the least amount of resources, get the most amount of results out of it. If we do have to come back into these Scourges later and get more stars on these horsemen to get through, we could do it. It's very simple. We're going to be using the same teams. You're not going to waste any resources. Don't worry about following this guide. And then all of a sudden, no, I can't get my Apocalypse because I followed what you were doing. It's same teams. You're not going to feel bad about putting resources into these characters. Ultimately, what I'm going to try to do is try to use 3 yellow horsemen to get a 7-star Apocalypse. There are no star requirements on Apocalypse. There are gear requirements. There are ISO requirements, but there's no star requirements. So ultimately, I'm going to try to take these 3-star horsemen to get the 7-star Apocalypse. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to do it. But even if not, even if I wound up being a complete failure, we could just go back, turn up the difficulties a little bit, get some more stars on these horsemen. It's not going to be very hard to do, but that's the point of this journey that I hope you guys take with me. So let's get it right into it. Let me bring up the video. I did this a couple days ago, and let's go. So we're going to go ahead and go over to Epic Campaigns. We're going to click on an Archangel. And we're going to do these on difficulty 8. We're going to go through 4 nodes and never have to build the Scourge team. Like that's the whole idea, is to never have to build these Scourge teams. We get it done in the first 4 nodes. Node 5 and Node 10 are required these special team or specific teams that they want you to build. But what we need to do is to set the score that's over at the top right to 1.25 million. Now for this one, just click the 3 minion ones. We got 1.274 million. All we need is 125,000 per node on 4 nodes, and we got our 500,000. When we had to first do this, the first time when it came out, it was minions only for the first 2 nodes. We had to build up minions. It wasn't hard to do. We ordered through it, but the fact that we had to build minions was obnoxious. They have made some changes to this, make this a little bit easier. And you can see I'm cruising through, checking to see like what minions are on defense in the first 4 nodes. There's only a couple, so those Scourges that you put on aren't really going to affect much. You don't have to worry about those couple minions on those nodes really hurting you. But see, it says minion or villain. Yeah, we had to do minion. Now they let you use half your roster, your villains on this. So with this, it's just the Annihilators just came out, so I'm using the Annihilators, and or the 3 Annihilators. Looks like I'm using Lady Deathstrike, and who else did I put in? Did I put in Emma or Kang? Kang. There's a lot of good characters. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I went with Kang. Lady Deathstrike's also amazing. Use Lady Deathstrike. I'm using her in the arena right now on my in-game account. And I'm a top 20 player, so for my arena shard. So you could ultimately, there's half of your roster you could build here. Now, as a new player, you should be building your Annihilators for the arena. So that's why I'm showing this with the Annihilators. A character like Kang, who's still a monster, even though all the new characters got these boosted stats. Kang's still a great character, and Lady Deathstrike's amazing too. But you have a million options that you could use for this section, and you could throw your whole roster at all these nodes too, and just keep going at it. You die, come in with another team. You'll eventually get through. But you're going to be able to see how easy it is to get through this with having this many characters that you're allowed to use. On this, there's no. I mean, look at that. Just and it's not even like I have a ton of stars on these characters either. This is a free-to-play account, just like my main account too. There's only 3, maybe 4 stars on the Thanos. These 3-star Gladiator, 4-star Gladiator, something like that. They're pretty small, but you see, we're just melting. This node, Thanos one attack. Half the node's gone. And between Gore and Thanos, we just walked right through it. And like I said, so we could have even done this with more Scourges on, with higher difficulty level. There's a lot of things we could have done. We can get more stars on it even as it is right now. I'm doing this at G14s. You can get in here with G13s and probably get through it and get the unlock if you want. But there's such a massive boost in stats when you go from G13 to G14, especially with focus and resistance. So that's just make your life easier. We can't get a big boy apocalypse until we're level 90 anyway. We can't get the baby one until we're level 85. And we got a bunch of blue ISO 4 and blue ISO 5s to stack up because that's got to go on a lot of characters. So save all of those. Don't use those on anything. Only take characters up to blue ISO 3 once you get to level 75. Don't waste your 4s and 5s until you get yourself an apocalypse. You're going to regret it. But yeah, we're just, we're making your life so much easier just by taking characters up to G14. G13 characters are just useless compared to 14s. Back in the day, it was a big deal. Now it's not, because now we got much more boosts higher with higher levels. With between levels 90 and 100, there's such a massive boost in stats, and the higher gear levels actually do mean more. But 13 to 14 was the first really big jump that we had in this game that really made a difference. So you could see that first node. I didn't really talk about priority targets like I have in my other videos, because we're just going to destroy this with even very small annihilators. And Lady Deathstrike is just so good. As of recording this video, they just releasing Blade, and they're adding in did reworks to Moon Knight and Agatha, and oh my god, those reworks, those characters are just strong and just destroying stuff. Lady Deathstrike's also a character that got reworked for Orcus, and their stats are just so strong. Any character from Annihilators on is going to have about a 30% boost on characters from before. So you just build the new stuff. That's the new tip, or big tip: build the new stuff. But yeah, we're just going to walk ourselves right on through these nodes. It's kind of funny as a Kang was like OP character for a while, especially when it first came out, and to see him as like one of the weaker characters on this team is actually pretty funny. We're just melting. We're melting. No priority targets. No worry about nothing. Just destroy. Come in here and wreck. And especially because these first two nodes were nodes that we were meant to do with minions. We had to do this with, Ravager minions, and I think I took in like Merc Lieutenant and Merc Riot Guard, and it just, when they made us do minions, oh my, you've seen a mad community. Minions. But look at how easy this is. This is, and again, like I have these characters up as high as I can get them, for now at level 75. But they're just destroying this content. Again, I'm not telling anyone to stop at 3 stars in any of this horsemen. It's just part of the fun that I'm trying to have here. I'm going to try to get a 7-star apocalypse with three yellow horsemen and see how that goes. But it's going to be more about the characters I surround them with than the actual characters themselves. I'm just going to make sure they survive, because in the Apocalypse Saga, you have to 3-star the stuff to move on and do the next level. And so we're going to make sure people don't die, and I'm just going to have to make sure my horsemen don't die. But yeah, this is going to be one of the quicker Scourge videos because of how easy that was. Like I said, we're just walking through that. That was meant to originally be done with minions. And they do reworks to these Apocalypse. They have done a rework to the Apocalypse Saga to put newer teams on Node 5 and Node 10, because we don't want to build the Scourge teams, and I still don't want to build the Scourge teams even with what they reworked. Because for this one, all right, so the next section is Spider Society. Guess who? Spider Society. We've used that on the Morgan Le Fay Scourge. We've used that on the Rogue Scourge, and now we're using it on the Archangel's Scourge. So one team getting through 6 of the, what is it? We're getting through 6 of the 16 nodes that you need to unlock all of the horsemen, and we're doing it with Spider Society. It's just a great team. Build them up, and this is the biggest team that I have on this account at 450k. It only has like 1 or 2 T4s, but we're just going to destroy everything. Priority here, Minerva. Get rid of Minerva. She was way back in the day. Totally OP character. Now there's a story that her kit was a mistake. It wasn't meant to be as good as it was, which I actually kind of believe that they messed that up. But Minerva is just in OG. She was great, and she's still annoying on defense. So make sure you get rid of Minerva. She could revive, heal, drain. I remember one, she got me through DD2 like by herself back in the day. Now you guys just auto that content. That used to be hard content for us. But yeah, so get rid of her. Yo-Yo can be annoying. That Sunfire can be pretty annoying too. You get stuck behind the taunt with Miss Marvel. But that's fine. Spider Society is that good. We're just going to walk right on through. You can see Yo-Yo just keeps trying to annoy us. Nope, I'm still not going after her. I figured I would just because that was her passive is annoying. But whatever, it's okay. But yeah, like I was saying, like they have reworked. Okay, so Taskmaster and Sunfire and Squirrel Girl. Gotta watch for the Squirrel Girl. Everybody has made fun of her forever. I love her, or I loved her in her heyday. She's absolutely amazing. And I honestly think they released her just to piss off Casino. Way back in the day. Nobody knew was going to know what that means, but maybe look it up. But I honestly think they released her just as a goodbye present to him. So yeah, again, we're melting our way through these nodes. But yeah, like I said, they've reworked these Scourges to add newer teams in for nodes 5 and nodes 10. But now those newer teams that they put in there are out of the raid meta again. So like for this one, their Scourge teams for node 5 and node 10 are Wakanda. So that's your War Dogs and your Wakanda, and you don't want to necessarily build them now. I barely even use them in War anymore. Bionic Avenger. No. And Pegasus. Pegasus was the team that they added because Pegasus was in the raid meta. But now Pegasus is out of that because Orcus is out. So you have no one but Kestrel. You're going to be building off of that team. Build Kestrel. What the hell's Kestrel? But build her up. You're going to be using her. You're going to probably be using her in the Apocalypse Saga 2 as one of the MSF originals. You have to build 3 of them for that saga at Blue ISO 5 to get the big boy. But you're not going to want to build those teams, so we're not going to want to do those nodes. And like I said, you see how easy this is even on this level. When we come back into this later and we want to get more stars from Archangel, if you do want to get more stars for Archangel, jack up the difficulty level. We're gonna be at a higher level when we get Apocalypse anyway. We're gonna have these teams at higher gear levels, and we'll be able to get as many stars as we want. Still, again, just doing these first 4 nodes. So yeah, don't worry about nodes 5 and nodes 10. We're not building Scourge teams. That's the whole point of this. We're min-maxing. We're not building Scourge teams, and we're just, again, I'm not pointing out too many priority targets in this because this is just a great team that's just going to walk you right through. This is your skill meta team, skill meta raid team, and it's going to be that team for a while. I mean, we just had 2 raid teams replaced. This is technically one of the next 3 to get replaced because there's only 5 or 6 if you want to count Alpha Flight. But this isn't going anywhere just yet. And even when it does, it's still just a good team. They have obnoxious sustain. You can see the 8 billion buffs that they have on them every single time they do things. It's the team that when I first like the first week that you're playing this game, this was a team that I was using in the arena. Until you can get your hands on the Annihilators and you can start leveling them up. But this is just a great team. So we're going into the final node here with this team, if it ever loads up. Marvel Load Force. Priority targets here. I mean, Madeline Pryor can be a little annoying. Fury can be a little annoying, but we're probably just going to wipe out half the board with this ult. Yep, there you go. Everybody's dead. Again, we're just going to walk our way through. All right, so Omega Red. Omega Red can be obnoxious. I still love Omega Red. I do actually recommend that newer players don't focus on him. He's not something that I would go out of my way to get him, but I would still get Omega Red. I still think he's going to have some plug-and-play value moving forward because even with all the new boosted stats on all the new characters, he has a percentile drain on his basics. So if you put striker on him, he's just gonna peel off. It doesn't matter how big your health pool is. He's just gonna peel off your health. He has a great AOE attack, and so especially when you see him on defense in a mode like this, he's a guy you're gonna want to take out. Same thing with Sinister. He clones you, but the clone is based on his stats, not on the person he's cloning. So it's got to be a monster for it to really affect you too much. But if you clone someone like Peter B, that can get really obnoxious because Peter B is the linchpin of this team. So when you're building this team, obviously, build them all up. Noir has great plug and play value. Peter B is just a beast. You can see what Pav just did up there and just melted the whole entire wave and the whole entire team. Now I'm going to use Gwen to just spread as many bleeds as possible to as many people. And this node's pretty much over. Everyone's just going to melt. We're just melting people. But yeah, before this video wraps up, the whole point of doing this is just to min-max. And again, like I'm saying in all my videos, the best advice I can get is don't over-invest into things until you get to the content that you're going to use them for. There might be new characters that come out that are better than what you got, and now all of a sudden you've upgraded a whole bunch of stuff, and now it's useless because they're better characters like Annihilators or something else for it. Or you could test it out and you're like, wow, that was really easy. I didn't need to take all my characters up to G17 and G18 and G19 to get through it. Maybe I just needed to build, one of the better characters to get through it. So take your time, relax, have fun, and don't overinvest early. Hoard as much as you can. And we got up to our 500,000. It was a great job of past me circling that. So now you guys know that we got our 500,000. And Marvel load force, Marvel loading screen. Go up to rewards. Oh, and there's the requirements I put over it. Circling again, past me circling. Pegasus, no Pegasus, don't build Pegasus. Eventually they might change it too. That's another reason why you wait. Maybe they're going to change it and add Orcus to be and do it, and then we can just walk right through. So eventually I'm going to hit the recruit button at some point. I'm going to go ahead and click that button. Maybe I was having a stroke or something when I was recording this video. Yeah, so I think I might just end. Nope, there it is. I hit it. We did it. All right, and now you got yourself an Archangel. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you continued this journey with me. As always, love you guys. I'm out.